We've got a top 20 matchup tonight in the Big 12 on the women's side, and joining us now to talk about the game that she will be on the call for is Rachel Galligan, our good friend. She's calling the game tonight for our ESPN Plus. 20th ranked Texas Tech, 15th ranked Baylor from Lubbock. Rachel, how are you?
I'm good. Just getting my morning going over here in Lubbock. It's a beautiful day. No more sandstorm, so that's good.
That's wonderful. Okay, so, TCU, it feels like is in the driver's position now with what they've done last week and wins over Baylor and West Virginia. But what's at stake tonight for Texas Tech and Baylor?
There's still so much to be played with 3 to 4 games left, mostly 4. I think West Virginia is the only one in that group that still has 3 remaining. But it's still, in my opinion, a little too early to tell, especially with this matchup tonight. That's why I think this game is so big. Like, you have TCU and Baylor both sitting at 11-3. If Baylor's able to come in here, get this win, who does TCU have to still play? TCU and Baylor still have to play one another. They've got to go. They host Iowa State, Houston, Cincinnati. So, yes, driver's seat for sure because of that win last week. Big win. Shout out to Olivia Miles. She was fantastic.
Yeah, unreal.
But, obviously, Baylor, if they can take care of business, they can be right in the conversation as well. Who knows what's possible with the way this season has been played. Like, I'm not even able to sit here and say, oh, it's for sure, this or this is my prediction, because there's been just an upset. It seems like multiple upsets every single week.
Huge game tonight with Baylor and Texas Tech. Ultimately, where do you think that one's decided, and just kind of what you've seen from Texas Tech as of late? Still very much in the conversation at 10-4.
I think this game tonight is going to be a defensive chess match. Both of these teams are ranked in the top. I would say Baylor's 61, Texas Tech 27 in terms of scoring defense in the country. So you've got 2 really good defensive coaches, 2 defensive schemes that defense is going to travel wherever you're at. And I think we've seen enough this season that that's going to be the case. Now, you could say with Baylor and Olivia Miles the other night, I think they maybe out-schemed themselves a little bit too much in terms of just kind of allowing her to get up 23s in that game. But Baylor, at who they are and the way they play, and even look back at the first game, first to 60 win, that'll be the case tonight. I think this game will come down to who executes the best in the half court. Because I think Baylor's really good in transition. Texas Tech, being able to execute their sets and being able to, if your first option isn't there, then be okay and be patient enough and take care of the basketball enough to get to your second and your third option, really make them defend late into the shot clock. And again, it's going to be, offense is going to be at a premium, that's for sure.
The story around Molly Miller and Arizona State women's basketball has started to make the rounds nationally for this incredible turnaround. They've got a big one tonight at Iowa State, 21-6, 8-6 in the Big 12. What's the secret sauce for Molly Miller?
I just think she wins. She just finds a way. I think she put a really good group of players together all through the transfer portal, obviously, and that's the state of college athletics right now is, you can turn a program around in the blink of an eye with what you can go do in the off season. And Gabby Elliott is, at the forefront of that. So I think her and her staff, first off, I think her staff is incredibly impressive with their knowledge, their dedication, their work ethic, and just from personal experience, their ability to recruit. And you can't say that about everybody. Some people just see a really good player and just throw a ton of money at them and, hope that it works. And that I think they were really intentional with the team that they were able to put together. And then on top of that, you put, Molly Miller, who is a true teacher of the game. And I don't think she overcomplicated anything way too much, way too fast for this team. And, they're playing inspired basketball. And I think they've taken on kind of her personality. You can't tell me that, she doesn't have an innate ability to connect with players, to teach players, to instill kind of that personality that she has, because she's done it every step of the way, and now she's doing it in year one. The true test will be, and I'm not saying this to take away from what they've done this year. It's been fantastic, but the longevity of that and trying to build something long-term for next year and the following year. But obviously they have a ton of momentum, and there's a lot of attention. I saw her on SportsCenter yesterday. So It'll be interesting to see how they maintain, this level of production. But there's no doubt winning 21 games and breaking the Arizona State, first year head coach record is really impressive.
Yeah, Arizona State 21-6, 8-6 in Big 12 play. Another team out west that maybe people are sleeping on is Colorado. Like, Colorado has all of a sudden won 4 in a row. They're 10-5 in Big 12 play. They have as many top 25 wins as Oklahoma State, as many top 25 wins as Baylor. They're 2-3 against the top 25. So what have you seen from Colorado?
Well, and I haven't checked the net rankings as of this morning, but before last night's win over Arizona, they were about 46. Won 7 of their last 8. I mean, I just think, first off, they've got some really nice talent with Zywalker, Dutat. I mean, then you got Tabitha Betson, who, was the preseason freshman of the year, who came and joined the program late. I just think, do they have as much depth as we're used to seeing? No. Do they have depth at the point guard spot that we're used to seeing? No. But more than anything, they've got really good pieces, and they've got some really good talented pieces. Jade Masagayo, who goes down with foul trouble last night, they're still able to win the game without her. She's a Big 12 preseason player, but I think it's a huge compliment to J.R. Payne.
Yeah.
If you have followed women's basketball for any period of time, this shouldn't surprise you that J.R. Payne and her staff is going to find a way. They're disciplined on the defensive end. They play inspired basketball, and I think, it was probably slept upon in the earlier part of the season because they were back and forth, but this is what every team in the country is trying to do right now, which is have momentum and be playing their best basketball in February. And right now, I mean, the committee is going to look at, just that momentum at the end of the season, and I don't know that there's anybody. I mean, they've got to have some of the best momentum in the entire country.
We're closing in on the Big 12 basketball tournament in Kansas City. Obviously it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. But, I mean, as somebody that played and coached and now covers women's basketball, what are you excited to see about this court, this ASB glass floor?
I'm so excited about this. Obviously, I've heard about it. I've heard of teams going and playing on it, and I've seen it on social media. Obviously, the release. Shout out to you guys, by the way. I had all these people texting me about what was this thing all these guys are talking about. Oh my gosh, it drove me crazy for the week. But I'm excited. I think there's 2 parts of me though. There's the media personality side of me that thinks that this is really awesome and I can't wait to play around with it and make content. But then there's the former coach and the former player in me. I've got to dribble a ball on it. I want to stand on it and really see what does this feel like. That's the thing I'm probably most interested on. Is just what is the, you're used to playing on hardwood your whole life, and there's a certain give and a certain feel to that. What is that going to feel like? But I'm excited. I think it speaks to our league and just how unique and forward-thinking and just, I don't know, I love the uniqueness of the Big 12 and how we do things just a little bit differently. That's something that really appeals to me personally. So I'm super excited for Kansas City, not for a lot of reasons, but definitely want to check out this court, that's for sure.
Is there a team, Rachel, that you have your eye on that could make some noise in Kansas City that maybe teams or fans are overlooking at this point?
I mean, just to share the love a little bit, I mean, I'm obviously high on Texas Tech. I know this team better than probably any team in the league just from calling their games. I think, just to share the love, Oklahoma State. I think that is a team that's got a lot of offensive weaponry. J.C. Hoyt and her staff do a really good job. They were ranked earlier in the season, kind of dropped out of those rankings. They're 32-2 at home, so they're virtually impossible to beat in Stillwater. You've got Staley Hurd, who's really starting to come along, Wooten. I mean, there's just a lot. They play a really fun brand of basketball. I think they're starting to click right now. I don't think they've peaked yet so far this season, and so it is entirely possible that's a team that goes to Kansas City, and not even just Kansas City, NCAA tournament makes some noise.
What are some other just interesting news, nuggets, notes in your mind, top of mind for you in the Big 12 right now?
Huge news, Addie Brown coming back from injury for Iowa State. I mean, let's remember, guys, it was TCU and Iowa State all season long, or early on in the season. Both, I think Iowa State was maybe top 10 at one point and ranked, and for good reason, right? For good reason. You've got the nation's leading scorer. You've got Jada Williams. And then Addie Brown goes down, and Ariana Jackson goes down, and they go on that 5-game losing streak, and they drop out of the rankings. It's, it kind of reminds me a little bit of kind of what Kansas State went through last year when they lost Ayoka Lee, and we didn't really get to see them at full strength late in the conference season. But then they're able to go into the tournament, and they're able to go into the tournament, make some noise, and they go to the Sweet 16. So I don't know, how it's going to look. I don't know. I haven't heard any details about like minutes restriction, but you've got Addie Brown, who is the X factor for Iowa State, and she's missed what feels like close to 2 months now. So I'm excited to have her back. I think that's going to free things up for Audie Crooks. It creates a 3-level threat in terms of her ability to pass, score, space the floor. They're just a shell of themselves, in my opinion, when she's not on the court. And so, when people are like, "Oh, what happened to Iowa State? They really fell off." Well, you don't have Addie Brown, who would be an All-American. Who is an All-American, in my opinion, especially if she's at any other program. So having her back into the rotation and late into the Big 12, I think, is huge news.
Have a great call tonight. Can't wait to watch this game. Should be a good one. 15th ranked Baylor and 20th ranked Texas Tech from Lubbock. And Rachel will be on the call. Rach, thanks so much for your time. Be well.
Thank you, guys. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Rachel Galligan does a great job covering the Big 12 and Big 12 women's basketball. And she'll be on the call tonight on ESPN Plus for Texas Tech and Baylor. Should be a good one in the Big 12. All right, James West, Ari Tepkin, Big 12 Today, Big 12 Radio. And remember, off-season optimism is
mandatory.
Thank you. And so that's why we are giving you the top 5 newcomers at every position. We're taking a deep dive into the top 5 newcomers in the Big 12 at linebacker next. This will be very interesting.
Yes, it will.
That's next with James Wesley. I'm Ari Temkin. It's Big 12 Today, presented by Modelo. Heard on TuneIn. Watched on Big 12 Studios.